Week 12, Monday Night Football in Cleveland. Welcome to the Doghouse, your inside look at the Cleveland Browns. I'm Andy McNamara, alongside Browns insider Matt Florjancic. Make sure to find us on Twitter at AndyMC81, at Matt Florjancic. Hit up our sponsor, sportsinteraction.com, fine sports betting site, and new sponsor, draftpot.com, daily fantasy leagues. We'll get into what those are a little bit later on in the show. Matt, you had the bye week, Thanksgiving. You're refreshed. You're full of turkey. How you feeling?
Pretty good. Looking forward to what hopefully will end up being a victory on prime time tonight against the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, let's hope we can actually have a victory Monday. It's very in the show write-ups after when we post them. It was therapy Monday, victory, and a victory Monday here and there, and then it's just all right. Well, it's just a day of the week. It kind of gets depressing to keep writing therapy this or that because I think every Browns fan is securely fashioned to the psychiatrist's couch at this time of the year with the Browns. And Matt, since last we spoke, so we did the show. We had the little bye week going into Thanksgiving, and on the last show, we spoke about, well, hey, this is a great chance for Johnny Manziel to prove himself and see where he's at, and the team gets a good look at him. Well, since then, some stuff has happened. Johnny got caught on video partying. Then, Matt, what came out is that he lied about it to the coaches and tried to get people covering up. Long story short, his butt is not even on the bench. It's going to be in the press box as the third-string quarterback. Is there anything more Browns than what happened with their starting QB situation during this bye week?
No, and I will just also remind you that during the show I said that when we asked what we were thankful for as Browns fans, I said that Manziel didn't end up on TMZ. And little did I know, an hour later, my former starting quarterback would end up on TMZ, ESPN, all the local stations, and then get himself benched. Yep. So clearly, I do not have a very good feeling about his future in Cleveland. It just goes to show you that no matter how many chances you give some people, they just don't get it. And the whole lying and having people cover it up thing tells me that he flat out doesn't get it. And
so
he
juvenile.
Didn't realize how good of an opportunity this was. Granted, the Browns are not the greatest team in the NFL, and they've had a lot of recent struggles, but still, there's one of 32 of these jobs in the world, and you were handed one over a guy that was playing pretty well, I might add, individually anyway, and you decided to flush it and screw around and basically ruin your shot. And if the Browns didn't think this was coming, then I don't want any of the decision makers in charge of another decision of the franchise, because every chance you gave this kid to get away, he was hopping on a plane to Vegas, hopping on a plane to Austin. Even a day after getting blown out on Thursday Night Football against the Bengals, he was on a plane home to Texas, and report surfaced.
Yeah.
You give him a bye-week break, and he said, well, I don't know how I'm going to spend it yet. That's a red flag. Mm-hmm. You knew he was going home at that point. He just didn't want to be honest about it. He goes and says, I don't want to do anything to disrespect or embarrass the organization. Well, pal, you've done a pretty good job of that, and that's about one of the few things you've done a very good job at since you've been a member of the Cleveland Browns.
Well, Matt, and I'm a Johnny apologist. I will give any bend any way to try to give him the benefit of the doubt. But even me, I just looked at that after and thought, well, you can't defend that. The guy, it's so juvenile, so immature. You lied about partying, and you knew you were being filmed. Like, what is wrong with this guy? I'm half expecting him to check back into rehab either after the season is over or maybe even in the middle of it, and it's just a mess. But a couple things that came out was John Gruden, of course, a color analyst on Monday Night Football, said, hey, I still believe in this guy. Maybe this is the wake-up call. It'll pay off if you did, comparing it to a troubled Brett Favre in Atlanta before he got dealt to Green Bay situation. And then DeFilippo, Brown's offensive coordinator, said, hey, well, maybe and Coach Pettin, never say never. Maybe he can get another shot in. Matt, is there any way you see Johnny being back onto the field outside of, I suppose, injury? Because eventually, if there's injury, you're going to have to play because he's a body. But if McCown stays relatively healthy, even if they keep losing, does Johnny get another shot?
I don't see how.
Yeah, I know.
I'd say it has to come through injuries, really.
Right. And I guess before that, though, we're going to see Austin Davis. It's the age-old tradition, just like, hey, eggnog at Christmas, 3 different starting Browns quarterbacks. So at some point, we're going to see what Austin Davis can do as well.
Yeah, we're going to see it. I have a feeling we're going to see it. I don't know how Josh is feeling. He keeps saying all the right things, that he's feeling better, but I think one good shot to the ribs, and he might be right back to the bench. You never know with ribs. It's one of those things you can't test. You can feel better. You can sleep easier. You can breathe easier.
Yeah.
But as soon as you get popped again,
well,
you might be right back to zero real quick. It's a scary situation because the Browns really don't have much at that position behind him. We don't know what Austin Davis is. We know what Johnny is away from the field and how his focus tends to go away from football when given any sort of a break. And I understand it's a long season. They have you basically, working sun up to sundown for about 6 months out of the year. I get it. It's a long season. You work hard. You want your break, but you play a game for a living, and you've been given a lot of money and opportunities to do it.
Out, man.
And you cannot continue to thumb your nose at the owner that wanted you, the president who drafted you, and the coaching staff who, by all accounts, maybe didn't want you on the field, but are attaching their futures to you. So when you take all that into consideration, I don't think he sees the field again unless both McCown and Austin Davis get hurt.
I think that is the most a third-string quarterback has ever been talked about since probably Tim Tebow. You're listening to The Doghouse, your inside look at the Cleveland Browns. I'm Andy McNamara alongside Browns insider Matt Florjancic from WKYC Sports in Cleveland. So our Twitter question for you today, at AndyMC81, at Matt Florjancic, use the hashtag Doghouse, DAWG, is, it's a simple one. Give us your score prediction for Browns versus Ravens tonight at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, and give us your predictions there, score predictions, your thoughts on that. So again, at AndyMC81, at Matt Florjancic. A shout out to our sponsor, SportsInteraction.com. You go to SportsInteraction.com/Browns. They will match up to $200 of your first deposit. So you put in $20. Look in your account, it's $40. $100, it's $200, so on from there. And you can bet on all sorts of sports. You can bet on football, hockey, basketball, MMA, prop bets, and over-under, all money line, all that good stuff. Also, new sponsor, DraftPot.com. DraftPot.com, daily fantasy leagues, lots of money available from $1 entries all the way up, $100, $2 entry, $1 million contests. The difference is, Matt, and I just started playing it, and I know you are this week. The difference with this is they have 2 modes. They have GM mode and fan mode. On GM mode, it's like the other daily fantasy league sites. You have your salary cap. You pick your players, let's say for NFL, and you go that way. Fan mode, unlimited money. You can pick every best player if you want and go that way. So something really unique to DraftPot.com. You go there, DraftPot.com, click on sign up, and type in promo code Browns, and they will match up to $300 of your first deposit, and you get entered into a free contest. So promo code Browns at DraftPot.com. Lots of fun there. Okay, Matt, let's tee up. Ravens 3-7 at the Cleveland Browns 2-8. All-time series between these two. The Baltimore Ravens, of course, the former Browns, 24-9. Ravens lead in that category. And really, Matt, Baltimore coming into the year were, okay, hey, your typical Ravens, expected a challenge for the division, maybe make some noise in the playoffs, but they have been absolutely decimated with injury. Flacco out for the year. Justin Forsett, the running back, he's gone. You have Matt, the premier quarterback position now. You got to feel bad for ESPN, Monday Night Football. You have to feel bad for him because before it was Johnny Manziel, versus whether it's Flacco or somebody else, but Johnny was the focus. Now it's Josh McCown versus Matt Schaub. Ratings poison.
Yeah, I really don't feel sorry for ESPN with the amount of money that they throw at all these leagues to get these rights fees. I really can't feel sorry for ESPN, especially when they, pay all this money and then mismanage the budget and have to let a lot of good people go on the back end of it. This is kind of karma biting them in the butt with Joe Flacco and Johnny both being either injured or benched. So this is what they get, and they're going to try, I guarantee in the future, they're going to try to be one of those, have one of those flex deals that NBC has where they basically pick their game. And it'll be interesting to see how much the NFL charges them if they grant them that opportunity. But you look at it, though, from the standpoint that as two experienced starting quarterbacks, Schaub has started a lot of games in this league. Josh McCown has started, a bunch of games in this league. So it's not like they're getting your regular backup versus your regular backup. They're getting guys that have had reasonable amount of success both individually and team in the league, and we'll see what they have in store tonight, being the fact that the Browns don't have a lot of film on Schaub as with the Ravens. I think that plays in the Baltimore's favor. The Ravens will definitely have a lot of film on Josh McCown, especially that 457-yard performance in Baltimore earlier this year. So we will see how this one turns out.
Interesting running back situation in Baltimore because, we had Justin Forsett, and really, hey, let's face it, folks, it doesn't really matter who is being handed the ball when it goes against this Browns run defense because Swiss cheese is too nice of a term. It doesn't matter. You will get, the team will get over 100 yards and probably closer to 150 on the ground no matter who's there. But Justin Forsett, pretty darn good running back, broken arm, out for the year. So who's the starter now? Javarius, call him Buck, Allen, rookie 4th-round pick, and also, Matt, round 2 of the return of Terrence West, the shame discarded for what turned out to be nothing, not even a conditional pick, to the Tennessee Titans. He faced the Browns, fumbled, helped the Browns out. And that was one of the Browns' 2 wins this year. Then got cut. Now Baltimore, he's a Baltimore native. With that team, he will be seeing some time, and he has a chance to help out his old team one more time, hopefully by putting the ball on the ground.
Yeah, I don't know that he's going to do that again. I think he's going to run with a little bit more of a purpose, and if he doesn't, then I think the young man will be out of the NFL by the end of the year because this is now his 3rd team in one season. He was discarded for basically nothing. Then the Tennessee Titans let him go after a poor performance. I really don't see him wasting this opportunity if he has any type of pride and intelligence in terms of the fact that he's fighting for his football career right now. However, if he does put it on the ground or doesn't have a very good day against an awful run defense, then I think Terrence is going to play himself out of the league. So this is a must-show game for him. He has to show up and show out.
Well, and he's going to be the main backup, so who knows how many touches he's going to actually get behind Buck Allen. And by the way, folks, if you want, as usual, our tip of the week for your fantasy leagues, if you're in the Daily Fantasy League, again, go to draftpot.com, use the promo code Browns to get up to $300 match in a free contest from them. Start Buck Allen. I'll spell out the first name. Javorius, goes by Buck. Allen, Allen for the Baltimore Ravens tonight. Start him, and you will have a good shot at winning your daily fantasy league because he's going to go off. But Matt, as far as weapons go, like this, for the Browns, they're still without multiple players due to concussion protocol on both sides of the ball. So, do you see a Dwayne Bowe sighting tonight?
You have to. You absolutely have to. With Taylor Gabriel and Hawkins both being down, you have to get something out of Dwayne Bowe because other than that, you have Brian Hartline. Yep. And that's not a good option for Josh McCown. So I really think that Gary Barnidge is going to have a big day, and Dwayne Bowe is going to have some